let the record show that not only have Complexity bested Mirage here over the Mad Lions, Hugo Byron just walked in the room and dabbed. Now, I'm not sure that we can get replay footage of that, but there's plenty of replays to look at here from the side of Mirage. Complexity do pick it up. It was a bit back and forth, though, and of course, to discuss all of this with me will be Pimp and Potter. They are in the house, respectively, and have been here the entire time. Christine, I know you're working some weird hours. You're probably seeing some funky Counter-Strike, but tell me, how funky was Mirage?
You know, I gotta say, I don't think this Mirage was that funky. I actually really appreciated this match. I saw a lot of quality plays coming out of both sides. I gotta do a shout out for Lions. I really appreciated their late game calling towards the end of this Mirage match. I mean, just the conditioning that they were providing and throwing Complexity's way. I love the fact that they hit B on continuous occasions, then changed it up and hit Cat, but
right.
Dude, Config, I mean, those 2 kills in the 29th round when he's just one-tapping Bubsky lower B, then he just outplays A-Core. I mean, he just, all game long on Mirage, Config was showing up and just making it so difficult for Lions to have an answer.
Config ends this map alone 30-13. Now, I don't want to say this is vintage Config because I don't think that makes any sense. I just think that now he's having his potential unleashed and unlocked within this Complexity lineup. Now, of course, if we reflect back just a little bit, this would be a show where at least you two had predictions and they were contradicting each other. Now, can you state for the judge and the jury who your predictions were once more?
Christine, go ahead.
My prediction was for Mad Lions here, and you know, I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm gonna stick to my guns.
Of course you are, but Jacob, why should she change over? Why should Complexity be walking away with this series?
Well, you just touched upon it, right? Config, the way he's playing right now, you don't want to call it vintage Config, but I want to call it Config being one of the best players in the world.
That's not a good sign from the son of Jacob, of course.
Sort of like, there's a vibe to him when he plays and practices a lot. Config is one of the most skilled players out there. He's had some mentality issues. He's had some problems, you know, actually getting the hours into the game and getting it all sorted out, you know, how to act as a professional. But when he wants to and when he's focused, there's no doubt that he has the talent to be one of the best players in the world. And that is what he's showing us right now. Can he keep that up on a map like Vertigo? Doubtfully, but still the potential is out there.
Your doubt doesn't bode well for me. It doesn't even feel good when you say it. So perhaps we look at it this way. On Vertigo, Christine, is there a way for Complexity to lose this? Sell me your best Mad Lion. Let's hear what you got, Joe Exotic.
I think Complexity, there's a lot of ways that they're going to lose this, and I'm looking straight at A-Core. I really like how he approaches this Vertigo. He's not scared at all towards that scaffolding on that A ramp. He actually plays it a little bit differently than most operas on the CT side. Most operas lean towards the A ramp, towards the left side. A-Core, he likes to stick to the right, the short A area, and go for aggressive picks. So I'm looking at A-Core. Lions, they absolutely need him to just start finding openings, and the Lions, the rest of the team, they'll fall in line as well.
Well, the Mad Lions are one thing, Complexity's another, but the Mad Lads in the chat would also like to have a word with you, and that'll be using the hashtags either Mad Lions or hashtag Complexity. I just kind of sprung that one on production. We'll see what happens. Don't even really know if we're going to take a look at that vote, but we are going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to go to Vertigo, and that's going to set us up for what is pretty delivering of a series so far. We'll be right back after this, everybody.
Oh, hi there. Welcome. We've got a game about to go underway, Hugo. The second map in this second best of 3 series of the day. It's a day for seconds, and I tell you who might go up for a little bit more servings here. It's Complexity, man. They take that first map, they're looking good, and now we move on to Vertigo, the map pick of Mad Lion.
Yeah, I'd love to know what you're expecting for this one. We don't usually do predictions. Actually, I don't like predictions, but I'm going to ask for your prediction, Harry, just for this map at least on its own. Like, you know, with all of the question marks, with the performance of the players in the server that we just saw, how competitive this one is, who's taking Vertigo?
Well, man, you've really picked a map, like, you know, I hate predictions.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Here's the hardest
possible
to predict
one.
match. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, that's the thing, right? So we look at Mad Lions on Vertigo, and there's really not a lot to go off. They've played it 3 times, they've lost it 3 times. So not looking great in that sense. But these well, hang on, Hugo. These 3 times, man, I'm getting grilled. These 3 times, you know, these were a while ago, and we haven't really seen Mad Lions play a lot of Vertigo. Yeah. So in my mind, if they're picking it into this series, they've got to have something up their sleeve. They've got to be putting in this work. And while this pistol round, Not exactly screaming success just yet. Let's see if they can turn it around somehow, some way.
Yeah, plant would do. That would be a nice little bit of bonus money. Not really something Cole can stop. They have a kit for the retake, but no nades. Roy's backed up. Bubsky, oh, great position. He's gone above and beyond, dropping Obo on that rotate. Now he can flank this A site. Roy's just trying to stall in the smoke. Flames drops Bubsky on the flank, and Roy now has to fight. He has to get a kill. He's dropped one, but the trade is imminent, and the kit is on the ground. Complexity will find that retake and the defuse with it. Nice to see them dealing with that back flank of Bubsky. We saw, that exact setup be the doom, the defeat of Mousesports earlier on this map against Big. It was Rops trying to flank, and it's not that Rops did anything wrong. It's just that Mousesports couldn't plant for him, and he was constantly left in these awkward 1-on-3s. Rakowski has a bit of impact into that round, but it is short-lived as he's dealt with on the flank, and now Complexity going for, Mad Lion's going for the Force and going for the B-Rush with it, at least off the back of Bubsky's Galil. He's looking for kills. Roy on the AK tagged up early. Actually going to walk right out of this one, swap the guns back, make sure Roy's on Galil instead. But even then, yeah, I was going to say, give him a pistol. He is the only player low here, so arm your players with health. Mad Lion's still sat below B with a bomb outside of A as well, so really they can go wherever they please. Double B set up for Cole. Rush is pushed down on the ramp, and he's about to meet them on A. Ooh, back to B they go, I guess.
Yeah, one of the problems is with going back to B, right, is that with Rush so deep, it frees up everyone else. Because Rush is here as like an early warning system. Even if he dies immediately, you're going to know that there's bodies going back towards A. And with that not getting spotted, it's afforded a lot more players towards this side of the map. But the flashes are just so good. Everyone is so blind that you wouldn't know this site was stacked for Complexity.
Okay.
Not great. Kind of Roy's fault. Don't want to say it, but it kind of is his fault. And
I don't know. Would you say that?
Shush is just spamming the smoke,
Yeah,
like
Roy doesn't.
runs
Roy's just
front.
walking, mate. Roy doesn't know he's about to walk into bullets.
Yeah,
I wouldn't blame Shush, but I also wouldn't blame the victim. Roy was just walking, man. Roy was minding his own business, and Harry's like, well, he did walk into the bullets.
But, this isn't just like average day life simulator. This is Counter-Strike. Like you are shooting, you are fighting each other. If someone's already shooting, maybe don't walk into the stream of bullets.
Yeah, this back turn, Harry.
Look,
I'm calling it a mistake.
It's got to be someone's fault. That's what I've learned.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean, great shots regardless.
That's after Roy opens the round up as well.
I mean, come on.
No, yeah, to be fair, that's no one's fault. That's no one's fault.
Yeah.
Watching it on replay, you've got me there, right? You've got me.
You didn't even know he was there, but regardless, that's a great win for Mad Lion. So you put it right, the flashes are the solution. Great execute, full utility smokes, mollies, flashes, all of it land well, but the flashes are the key. It blinds the close player that gets picked up by Roy. It blinds the player at the back of the site. This round isn't live, and Mad Lions are able to do a very good job of taking B. Now, we will be taking a break, or not a long one, just a quick restart, at least of this round, as we wait for the money to get fixed and Match Medic to save our souls. What this does mean is maybe some technical issues on the side of one of these players. So we're going to wait that out, figure out the solution.
See, that's a fact I know nothing about.
Yeah, I never ever played Pokemon in my life, so, I'm with you there. Have you ever played it, Harry?
No.
No, wow. I think we're one of a kind, or two of a kind, I guess. 2 in a million, they call us.
2 in a million.
2 in a million. I feel like a minority having, not played Pokemon, but yeah. Third generation.
This camera shot is so wildly good. Like, it's actually kind of mind-blowing. Like,
it looks like an advert.
It
That's
really
what
does.
like.
I feel like any minute. Do you love smooth audio? Then, boy, at the top level, do we have the audio for you? Or something like that. I don't know. Like, maybe. That was just in focus, so I just picked an item.
Yeah.
But
it's
kind of wild. I love how nice the facility's looking where these guys are playing. I like the setup, and I like the Complexity are able to give us a look like behind the scenes, even though they're away from home, I guess, in a sense, right?
For sure.
Obviously not being out in NA.
Ooh, a little taggeroo from Poison. Quick shot from the scout, puts Acor down low. You have Mad Lions armed on this A site. Complexity have forced the issue. Shush, -1 and 1. Not the most standard of scores, but he's going to try and put it back to 0 as he fast plays B. That's where the bomb is going. Mad Lions with a 4-man commitment here, and Cole are already cordoned out the site. I feel like we're going to see a lot of these B plays from Mad Lions. They are already looking like they love these executes, and for good reason. Pushing Cole completely out, no information for Complexity. And what this is going to do is this is going to force Complexity to fight for the bottom B stairs area. If they want to stop these B plays, or at least know when they're coming, they need the bottom stairs. They need to know when Mad Lions have the bottom stairs, because they've given it up. And so therefore you can rotate, you can be prepared, you can play anti-flash, and you can actually put a stop to these B plays. Because in these back-to-back rounds for Mad Lions, quick flashes, Complexity run right back to CT, and they just give up the B-bomb site. And you can't afford to play like that once you hit the rifle rounds. So Complexity, I imagine they're already talking this through, already working out how they want to approach this B-bomb site, because Mad Lions clearly have the answers.
I'm glad that we got to see this replayed. Bobski even celebrated landing that flick by just spamming into the body. So yeah, he knows it was a nice shot, and that's always good.
Still low money for Cole, right? That's the biggest issue. The force buy a miss, the eco follows, and we're relying on just a couple of guns in play, Blame being one of them, pushed down towards the A ramp. But as said, as seen, Mad Lions want nothing to do with A, at least not early. They're going to take mid with 3. Cillian and the gang moving up. Shush below B, puts Poison low. He has him trapped as well. They're not letting him get out alive. Bubsky finishes the job, and Mad Lions a quick B split. No one's in middle, no one's watching this, and therefore Mad Lions can just overwhelm the site from construction. Config tries to put a stop to it, but only armed with a USP. That's not the gun for the job. Obo has the timing, has a gap, but he's been re-smoked, and Acor's watching for it, so bomb planted, and 5 life for Mad Lions. Looks like a locked-in round.
In these first few rounds, Mad Lions, they've really set the precedent that they're not here to wait around you. They're not here to sit on their laurels and wait for you to come to them. They're going to hunt down these openers. And yeah, you're kind of bang on. I feel like we could see Complexity. Oh, look at this from Bobski. Yeah, it's a little overzealous. He goes running through the Molotov to try and get that kill. I'm curious to see how Complexity try and remedy this. And Rush, who was trying to save, wasn't actually able to survive. Now, it's not the end of the world. There is still plenty of money here on the Complexity side of things. But I'm really curious as to what the answers are, because, you know, Hugo, we've seen a lot of Vertigo these past few months, and you know, I feel like already Mad Lions have made a real statement about how they like going for these B plays, and that's normally not the problem you're trying to find solutions to on this map.
It's great, because I've just been waiting for a team that's going to finally do it. This B site is so easy to rush if you have good utility, and so, like, you know, A is obviously a one that everyone falls into, because you know you can win it like Inferno, right? Just forcing saves if you get the bomb plant at the right time. But Mad Lions are not afraid of taking fights. Config, what a hero play! He even gets the kill off of a Molotov. Cillian burns in Roy's molly because of Config's damage. He jumps around the side and he gets 2 for his work. Bomb dropped. Shush in B, but he's not got the package that is needed to win this round. He's got to go hunting, fighting for it in a 1-on-2.
Yeah, he did have -1 kill to his name up until this round, now sitting on 0. But that's the funny thing about negative. It often attracts the positive here. And Shush trying to put a bit of a positive spin on this round. That bomb is the object of his desire. He's looking first for the player back in CT, but jiggling on the angle, Blame F will lay down the paid. Something that's pretty impressive is that even though Mad Lions were 3-1 up, now 3-2 up, so still in the lead, but losing it slightly, is that Blame F is still yet to die, 5-0 in this game as it stands right now. He's been very keen at saving. And that's going to... Sorry, I'm just going to say, though, I want to see how far he can get this kill ticker up before he gets his first death. I really bottled the execution of saying it.
It's fine, Harry.
What goes around is around. And Acor over here looking up through the ramp smoke, trying to spot a player going aggressive. Now, a player has already gone aggressive, but BlameF finds himself tucked into this corner at ramp. This frees up a few more players for Complexity, and Config being one of those big boys in question.
Oh, no.
A lot of damage, but not a kill on either player. He does 170 damage on that peak. And so a nice attempt from Config, but neither kill presenting itself now leaves Mad Lions in a 5-on-4, and they're very much controlling this round right now. Even losing a man early has forced BlameF away from this close position. They don't want to run the risk on it. They also don't want to have two players deep at A ramp, because it's going to be a very long rotate to B. And well, that is where the play is looking to end up right now for the Mad Lions crew.
Well, regardless of where the play ends up, look at Bubsky. He's on 1 health. He hasn't moved since he got tagged. He's just sitting in middle. And when Mad Lions commit to a site play, when they take the site, he's going to come in on a lurk, and he's going to try and get a backstab on Complexity. This is a big play from Bubsky, considering how low he is, right? Just means he has to wait. He has to essentially bait for the entire round until Mad Lions get the plant. If they don't get the plant, Bubsky's not going to be able to do anything. And that might be a factor in and of itself. Obo alone deep in B, trying to play the smoke, and he spammed through it. He's done good damage. Bubsky's been picked up at the AWP in middle. This flank, like said, if it comes in early, it doesn't come in at all. It's made quick work of by Cole, and grenades will do the same to Shush. Akor's running for his life with the AWP, and luckily there's no one here to stop him behind. It's going to be a third round for Complexity. I like the idea there for Mad Lions, but with Complexity stacked B and with loads of util to hold back these Danes, yeah, they can't get away with it, and Bubsky's mid flank is just being watched for. So nice try from Mad Lions, but ultimately not going to be their round.
Oh, I can't cope with that camera shot. It just feels like too HD for my eyes.
They put on
feel like I've earned it. And well, speaking of earning things, Hugo, this round it's going to be Complexity trying to earn a pretty penny as they look to take control of the money of this game. Now, something that's been a bit of a problem for Mad Lions is that with ending in these B plays, they haven't really been pressuring the ramp, and so it's allowed. They finally try and give this ramp control a go. It's very back and forth, but ultimately, Complexity get out ahead. They trade it favorably. They keep themselves in the 4-on-3. And Mad Lions, it's back to the drawing board now. They're still grouped up down here on the lower side, but they're going to go up through the ladder room and try and get out into mid. Now, Config has been locking this area down. Even when he hasn't been getting kills, he's been doing damage. But in this round, there's none of that.
And look how fast they play off the back of that kill. They're just going to try and split B fast. There is a player from Elevator watching, though, and they don't molly it off. They don't smoke it off, sorry, they just molly. And, well, you can look through mollies. Obo shuts it down on the B-bomb site, and Complexity find another round. Nice spray from Obo, but it is the info that's given by the player in Elevator who's able, I think it was Blade, able to put up a kill and just, you know, spam the backline of Mad Lions there. Good setup towards A. I think Cole finally had the read, right? Setting up 3 to fight early, knowing eventually Mad Lions would go back into what is always successful, which is those A takes, but it is denied. And now Mad Lions have to look elsewhere. 4-3, a full eco, just Glocks and a couple of Deegs here.
Yeah, Poison taking his AWP over here towards ramp, and he's got BlameF alongside him. They're posted up, ready to take these fights on the long angle, and they are going to have a bunch of players greeting their crosshairs, maybe more than they bargained for, but BlameF, my goodness, lays down the pain and then just gets out of there. That's not what you're allowed to do, BlameF, man. He just goes in, causes chaos, a complete bloodbath, and then just runs away, keeping his flawless game. That nade. And yeah, the rest is just a formality. Bubsky, can he find anything before he goes down? That's the big question, and it might be a pretty small answer.
Yes?
No, that's what I'm imagining. But Bubsky, you know, he's surprised us before. Not in this round, however. BlameF 10-0, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's having a great game. And this is what I was going to say. You know, so ramp right now is really feeling like the winning formula for Complexity. They've been taking this control with Poison alongside BlameF, pushing down whenever there's no contact immediately, and just holding when there is utility coming through for Mad Lions. And this has been great because in the rounds that Mad Lions do try and play for a ramp, Complexity aren't overextending. They're waiting till they get that first bit of contact and then playing off the back of it. And in the rounds that Mad Lions have tried to go B, well, they push down the ramp and they rotate players early as a result. It really is winning Complexity this CT side right now.
Yeah.
And the scary thing is that Mad Lions haven't even spotted the aggressive ramp plays.
Oh, it looked close, Harry. It certainly looked close.
Was almost on.
Not happening, though. That being said, nice setup in middle early. Cole get 2 kills, but they hang around, and that's a big issue. If they bail after those 2 kills and set up safer, set up to watch construction and CT, they can, you know, have a very good setup, but they hang around and they try and fight again. They try and reface with flashes, and that just gives Mad Lions a way back in. Like, Complexity are confident, that's great, but you don't want the confidence to cost you rounds. This could and should have been a 5-on-3. Instead, it's around where Mad Lions certainly have a say in the game, but Rush might take it all away on this flank. The bomb's been dropped, and that AWP just runs away. Rush doesn't give away his position because he wants more. He wants both, and he'll take them all. 6 rounds for Complexity. Nice little flank from Rush there. He holds his own. He waits, and he shuts them both down. I love this double setup in mid as well. It feels like wherever... some kind of like cheesy little towards A, there's 3, but that's pretty standard. But right there, they make the read, they predict mid, and they boost Blame F up for it, baiting them in with the AWP. In this round, it's a low economy one for Mad Lions, and the 0% win rate on Vertigo is getting drawn into the forefront of my mind. Even though we are early days, we're gonna need a few more T-sided rounds for Cole, for Mad Lions, and Cole don't want to let that happen. Big spray down. Blame finally dies. 14-1. Oh, it looked like he could have kept it going, Harry, but he will be put to rest, leaving Bubsky on his own once again in a clutch. Hasn't got a weapon. Let's bait this shot, but not going to get anything finished off with a CZ75. It's a 7th round for Cole.
And hey, I mean, if you're looking for good news, right? Blame doesn't have to go to the gym today because he's already done his heavy lifting right now. 14-1. This is stellar from this man. That's an interesting one. Config has more kills with his AK-47 than Shush does in his whole career. But I think if anything, you know, that just shows how, for some of these guys on Mad Lions, you know, they haven't been around as long as some of these household names, and yet still, look at the dent they've been able to make. Look at the progress this squad has made.
Players like Roy and Shush, man, like, these are real newcomers to the scene at this level, at least, right? Like, you know, a lot of these guys coming from Tricked in the past, as many Danish players have, often under the guise of 100. But this ain't no heroic, this is Mad Lions. They got Peacemaker at the helm as well. 7-3 up, though. Complexity with this double orb, they are a real nuisance. Flashed up for Rush, he's going to go aggressive. Does he realize they're on his side? Blame will cover him. Good grenades back for Mad Lions, but if Complexity realize they can just bail now, fall out, give the ramp away, you've got that kill, and you don't need to force more. Akor's running into a Molotov. That looked pretty clear. He thinks he's safe in the edge of the smoke, but I can assure you it's not that easy. A tip with Molotovs is to always stay on the safe side, because those things can be very, very annoying. Poison. Another man who can be very, very annoying. With this orb up on the A site, we have a quad setup here for Complexity, including Config and CT, who can rotate very fast. There's no flank, it's just Mad Lions committing.
Yeah, Blame F holding the line. Only good for one, though. And actually, Akor's put up another. This has suddenly fallen into a 3-on-2. You blinked, you missed it. The bomb plant now found for Mad Lions. The nade not quite able to deny it. Brings Shush down even lower, but not the kill. And this here is now a bit of a stalemate. Complexity are waiting to see if a kill is given over, and it's not going to be. But that nade will find the damage onto Akor, leaving it in a 2-on-2. Now Complexity is spurred on. Bobsky on the wide peak does catch Obo, and Config now left in this 1v2, looking for the ramp kill, but the no-scope doesn't connect.
Very Config-esque.
Yeah,
very
4 rounds on the board for Mad Lions. And they are able to crunch into that A site. When you think about the HP that these guys are on, when you think about the situation they were in, 3 players out from ramp, walking into a quad setup, the fact that they get the bomb down and then they win it out in a pretty convincing fashion is certainly impressive.
Yeah, I don't even really know what happened there in terms of crossfires. It looked all under control for Cole after Blame gets that kill. Rush is close in the corner, he gets overwhelmed, and yeah, Mad Lions just entry into the site really, really well. Looked like Cole could have got more out of that one, and they're going to go back to A, taking some control with this smoke as well. Not throwing the deep one, just with a bit of a closer affair. Playmethod's going to back up eventually. If Mad Lions want the A site, they can move their way up. And actually, there is a deep smoke, so I imagine the close one was thrown by Mad Lions, but there are lineups that Complexity can throw very easily that land in that same position from the site. Doesn't really matter anyway. No one's playing the smokes for Mad Lions. They are just cowering back at the bottom of ramp, waiting for their time to strike, and that time is approaching. Where's Bubsky in all of this? Looks like he's in middle. Yeah, top ladder right now. So again, setting up for this lurk play. Of course, it will rely on the issue that was the issue for Mousesports earlier, getting an open bomb plant if you want Bubsky to be able to stop a defuse behind the boxes, but that's all for later. Mad Lions need the kills before they can get a plant, and Rush, they know where he is. He smoked off the Molotov. He has escaped, though. How is that allowed to happen? Mad Lions, that's a bit of a worry. They're setting up a util in the meantime, but they allow Complexity to fall back into the site. Looking like a retake round, perhaps.
Yeah, Poison's just delaying any ramp play with that molly going down now, and that's going to force this whole A play to come through in the final 20 seconds of the round. Poison up here, boosted up, trying to look through the gap, and he's just seen the orb get onto sandbags. Poison looking for another. Smoke's obscuring the vision, allowing Mad Lions to maneuver into these post plants back in the site, but the man advantage residing with Complexity. Interesting thing to note is that Config is still holding on to middle, waiting for a mid-wrap that is never going to arrive. So eventually he's got to move. The rest of the gang have got to pick up the pace because half the time is ticked off this bomb. And Config only just beginning the rotation round now. There's so little time left. How on earth are Complexity going to get this one done? They are finding kills. They are going back and forth. It's all on to Shush, but someone's got to get on the bomb. And Shush spraying. Oh, he's got them off the defuse. And that's it. The round falls apart. Complexity. They don't close it out. Blame F does survive, but that one is a bit of a head scratcher all round.
Poison had it. He had the. I don't know if he had a kit. I need to see that round again. There was so much going on, but he had the defuse. It looked like a lock-in, and then he gets off after getting spammed. His teammate gets back on the bomb, and then Shush just kills them both because they're both low. They're both on top of the bomb. They're both in the site. Good night. Shush wins a clutch, but yeah, I mean, Complexity, they were very much expecting a mid flank. So was I for a longest time, but Bubsky went back down the ladder and regrouped with his team, holding the flank for a while. So there was no mid flank, and that was what Complexity were waiting for. If they got it, they were going to speed up the site execute and the retake, but without it, they lose the round to the time and to Shush, who double opens the B-bomb site here. Mad Lions go back to what worked wonderfully at the start of this map. And, well, unsurprisingly, it works wonderfully. Bubsky mows down 2 in middle, Poison on the flank, but this is a 1-on-4, and it's just not meant to be. Acor denies it, and Mad Lions get up to 6. This can be a good T-half after all. Complexity are buying here. They lose this round, and Mad Lions probably win it out 8-7. If Complexity win, then they have a chance to win the half. Well, they will win the half, obviously, but yeah, this is Mad Lions warming into the game, starting to come alive near the end. What is their game plan here? A has not been good to them. B has, but isn't that a little bit obvious? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see where the heads of Mad Lions are at. Right now, there's a solo B player again in a very, very difficult position. Obo can get wallbanged, he can get grenaded, and he will certainly get checked. Config's actually dead early. Bubsky in middle, getting that frag, and here's the boost up. Shush looking down. Does Obo realize?
Ooh, he certainly does. There's not really a way to be discreet about that one, but immediately swinging out and does get traded by Roy. In the meantime, Bubsky's coming on this mid lurk and is already deep within the site. He has secured a bomb plant here.
Question mark. Complexity just give away so much room to Mad Lions in this round. They were so focused on A. The mid lurk is able to beat them to B. That should not be happening, especially after Obo dies in B and Cole should be rotating anyway. Now they're rotating out because they know this round's lost and they'd rather have the money and the chance to find 8 at the end of the half. Saving these guns will allow that, but it won't lock it in by any means. Mad Lions on a tear in this T side, and a 7th round with 4 alive as well.
Yeah, I would kind of love to see Complexity before this half draws to a close. So heading into round 15, go back to having Poison peeking down ramp with the AWP, Blame F running the gauntlet to get into that short cubby, or just playing aggressive at ramp. And then, free up the other 2 players to assist mid and B. I do think, right, like with the elevator adjustment to this map, or not the elevator, sorry, the construction adjustment and how mids change, right, it does make this like kind of 2-man play over at A and then like a double mid stack a lot more viable. And it feels like, having 2 players over in mid gives you that much more assistance at the B site should you need it. In this round, we do get Poison going back in with the ramp pick. And there's no one else here to help him out, but his presence has been enough. It's turned Mad Lions away from A, and they don't even attempt to sell the fake any further than this. And now they'll hit the B side of the map. There are 2 players in mid for Complexity. They're both available to come over on rotation very, very quickly. And so there is quite the presence here for this CT side. Obo's still hidden at the back of the bomb site, and he'll swing on out now. They don't adjust in time, but Asilium with a quick flick now leaves this in a 2-on-2. Make that a 1v2 as Acor is the only man remaining, AWP in hand, and he tries to swing into it, but he gets shut down. Complexity narrowly winning out this first half, 8-7. Similar scoreline to that of Mirage. You're gonna have to stick around to see how Vertigo pans out after a quick break. Well, our trip to the zoo is certainly feeling good right now. We've seen some Mad Lions, and there's no one on Complexity with any animal names, so there's always that as well. But yeah, Hugo, this has been a pretty great game thus far, 8-7. Let's see Complexity. Are they going to wish they let Sleeping Mad Lions lie as they walk on up through the ramp? Obo, Poison, and Config all putting on a bit of a show for us as they secure this A site. Shush. Now in the 1v3, a full belt of utility, but no armor. If having a chance there at a kill, but not going to find it. And these Glocks feel terrifying up against an armorless USP. Dink. Oop, there's a response. Shush does get rid of one. He shouldn't have much more luck than this, right? Like, it's a nice shot there, but BlameF is holding the cross. No armor, no defused kit, nothing really going his way. And so Complexity, they will find the pistol. They go up 9-7.
BlameF is 21-3. How has he got 3 deaths, Harry? We're 16 rounds deep into the game, and it was equal at the halftime. They lost 7 rounds. He's died 3 times. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't compute. What? Okay, cool. Keep it up, Blame. Proud of you. 9 rounds for Complexity. They're going to take the pistol moving forward. That's both pistols in the map for Cole, but they got forced in the first half. Will that happen again? Right now, not looking likely. It's a bit of a mess inside of these smokes. Lots of damage done. The grenade will finish the job. Basilian low, A-Core tagged, and Complexity, they could just bail out of A as well. They know the Mad Lions might stack off the back of seeing the bomb, and, well, Mad Lions, they've stacked off the back of seeing the bomb. 3 players here. Sorry, I'm stealing your trick, Harry. I just love it. And, ooh, a little double sandbag.
BlameF is like the constant reminder to everyone that we could probably be doing more with our lives. Is like, you know, he's hench, he frags, he's intelligent, he leads, he does it all. And that's continuing here. He's above a 7 KD right now, 130 ADR.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Blame is the embodiment of that copy pasta. I think it's hilarious you guys are talking smack about Blame. You wouldn't say this to a LAN. He's jacked. Not only that, but he wears the freshest Complexity jerseys, eats at the chillest restaurants, and hangs out with the hottest dudes. Y'all are pathetic.
Wow, man, you remember all that one?
Yeah, off the top of my head.
Off the top of your head? That's the A-Core. He's trying to take heads off, and that's not really how it pans out for him, is it? This A site gets completely melted under the heel of Complexity, and they'll reach double digits, 10-7. They get that conversion on the board, and that was the force buy. We're back in the advert now.
In a world where Obo is stuck out in Denmark, we've got to get him through the server. I don't know where I'm going with that one. But yeah, no, that's, again, shout out, coolest camera shot ever, I think.
Ever, period.
History of
never going to get topped. James Cameron, eat your heart out, because we've got it here.
Oh, Cole, they have an anti-eco ahead of them. Mad Lions are going to stack B with 4, but they will peel away off the back of no rush for Cole. Expecting maybe just a faster anti-eco. But Cole, they're a little more meta in this map, Harry. They like that A site. It's a good effect. Up by 3 right now, looking to make that 4. Now, there is a 5-man setup here. Could certainly get dicey. It could get spicy, but Complexity, you'd like to think, won't let this one drop. Plenty of util as well to go for a smoke execute. And Blame's going to get all the info anyway. Deeg is out. He's been dinged down, and the short player, the boost player rather, could kill him stuck on short. Luckily, he's tucked in the wall, and his team will come in to kill all the remaining CTs. It's not going to be too much of an issue. 1 left. And there it is. 5 alive for Cole. That's a nice confident round. They may as well upgrade the MAC-10s. Like, you know, tempting to run bonus round. You know, having these guns forces Mad Lions to buy head armor on a lot of their players. But, you know, you have the lead, you have the money. I wouldn't even be surprised if Cole upgrade, but they're not going to. They're feeling it. And yeah, I mean, Blame's 23-3. I'm not going to question a thing he does.
Yeah, I know. And that's the part.
He's in-game leading as well.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
What?
It's mind-blowing. It really is.
Muscling his way.
Look at him go, right? And he's just unperturbed by anything that's getting thrown his way.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Oh,
well,
dear.
that doesn't go well for Astillion. Gets whittled down, and it's a significant advantage here. A-Core is trapped. Like, this has gone from him trying to make a play to now just try to stay alive. And, well, he will nail one, but there's the trade. BlameF, trade king, maybe, getting up through short side. And now making this A play look like a reality here for Complexity. Bobski still in the sight. Shush back in CT. But Rush, cheeky little devil, that's disgusting. They wait for
Wow.
Bubsky to move in, and Complexity 12-7, continuing to just stride ahead in this second half.
And this is the thing for Mad Lions, right? Like, they picked into this map. It's one they've lost 3 times out of 3 times they played it. So we were saying they've got to have some tricks up their sleeve. They did. Their T-side was good, man. They put up a lot of BXQs. They showed us some nice rounds. But now, this is probably why they don't play the map, the CT side. Dealing with the same problems that you deal to other players. I mean, it's so hard to find rounds on the CT side on this map if you're playing against a good team. And Complexity, they're pretty damn good. Mid-stack is here. Rush is going to realize it the hard way, but the bullets will be a little harder on the bodies of Mad Lions. And Coffee, he will fill them with bullets. The AWP here as well. Ooh, getting dicey, getting dropped are the guns. Blame is going to be here to make sure no weapons will be retrieved by Acor. And Bubsky is backed off with 7 points of health. This is looking like 30.
I know about the folks watching at home, but whenever I see Blame F, I just feel safe. I don't know why, but it's like he's... Ooh, hang on a minute. Maybe that feeling of safety is not so guaranteed. I mean, Blame's still alive, so like... moment of deep breath, right? Because Mr. Blame coming in through mid. We don't like to play the Blame game, but here he is anyway, coming on this wrap round, and he should have it dead to rights. So once again, it's the soothing presence of Blame F that had that round solidified. Poison came in on a wrap. Complexity take a 13.
If he had cologne, I would wear it. Eau de blame, something like that.
Yeah, man. I
put
mean,
that out.
what would it smell like?
Musk.
Musk, like
Yeah.
Elon. Oh.
No, just musk. You can figure that one out yourself. 13-7, Cole. They are 3 rounds away from doing it. This has been an empty CT side for Mad Lions. And to be fair, they've had 1 buy round. This is their second. And, well, they've got to make the most of it because Cole nades up A early. And, this is actually a really good idea. Even though Mad Lions throw that deep smoke, they don't peek it, right? They think ramp has enemies on it, so they want to play safe. Cole throw the grenades, and Mad Lions go, they're coming in, let's just wait. No, Cole instantly turn around after throwing utility and rush the B-bomb site. There's only 1 man here, and it's Shush, stuck in the site, spamming, gets away with the kill. It's Bubsky who steals it, and Shush, who mops up the rest. 2 more to follow. The AWP dropped as well by Bubsky, and Blame, buddy, you're being good, but how good can you really be?
Yeah, this is it. This is the test, right? Blame F, the weight of the world on his shoulders. Man, the world never saw it coming. Look at those shoulders. Let's go. Blame F opens up into CT. And Mad Lions now grouping up around this bomb. Lions, they are pack animals, backing up and looking to protect this bomb. It's Blame F right now, feeling all the pride. 1v4 on his plate, and he's looking for anything they'll give him. Going on this very lengthy rotate all the way through T-spawn. If he does this, it would be an ace 1v5 to drop 30 and solidify a 10 and OKD. So,
Moment of truth.
yeah, let's see. I mean, you know,
I think
we're
even Mad
still
Lions
putting
want
a
him to
lot
win
on
this.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
even Mad Lions are thinking, let's just give it to him. He's Danish as well. You know, it's good for the country, but he goes around the corner and Shush is primed and ready to go. That was a stellar hold from Shush at the B-bomb side, right? Like, that was unreal. He holds it down, he puts up 3, should have been 4, but Bubsky obviously took a couple for himself. That's the rotator's tax for you.
Maybe Obo needs to watch that round back because, man, the amount of times that he got deserted on B by his team, just left on his own, just deal with the B rushes, Obo, you'll be fine. And he couldn't really do a lot in a lot of those rounds. So yeah, Shush, big hold from him and Bubsky, putting up 2 apiece, and well, Shush even with the 3. Through the smoke, that's the AWP as well. Acor is really risking this entire round on a heroic play. He's looking for kills. No one's watching, but Poison is scoped. Everyone else had their back turned or had nades in their hands. That had to be a kill from Poison. It was. Sends Complexity up towards A. They still haven't dealt with this full stack, though. Player on short in the form of Vasilian and Poison. Oh dear, there's something in the water, and it doesn't taste good.
Oh dear, it's all falling apart. Mad Lions, they might have to save. They're 2-on-5. This is an unwinnable round and they know it. They're backing out because holding on to these 2 weapons now is paramount. That is what this entire round has boiled down to. If they get out of it with the AK and the M4, they've got rifles up against 14. If these 2 players go down, well, suddenly Acor and Shush, these guys have got nothing in this follow-up round. So this is a pretty important save here for Mad Lions. And while Complexity know that, I don't think we're going to see them in a rush to go hunting. They don't really have a lot of money either. Poison, you're so Such a little cheeky demon. Watch it. How far does it go? Poisons, go back in. It's still falling. There we go. It's
oh, wow. On the grave.
Go on,
on
Poison,
the
chase it. Pick it up before you hit the ground.
Go
That would
get
be the coolest ending to this round. But sadly, he doesn't give it a go. Can't believe it.
Wow. What a loser. Great round from Poison.
Man, no, this was wild. Like, so many of those shots are through smokes, and that's the great thing about a guy like Poison. Like, he can just take a round off of his own back and just find the kills needed to get you into it. And, you know, he puts up those first two. The rest of the squad, they're not dilly-dallying around. They run up through ramp. They help him out. They get in the face of Mad Lions.
Immortal technique. Yeah, great. Like that. 0.18 deaths around. That's just obscene, really. Blame F trying to set a record here in the side of complexity. At least in this series, they are about to 2-0. This was Mad Lions map pick. Cole won Mirage in a 30-round affair, and well, this one, it's not nearly as competitive. 5 in a row rather for complexity in this half until Mad Lions get their first. It was quickly responded, and now Mad Lions back up against the wall, back up against 14. They've got to do something. Acor has the orb, all the weaponry available, but complexity, they've not even tried middle in this T side, and they're going to go fast. Acor's pushed back. He has no idea.
What a chance to take a shot there. Now, they are very quick on the back of it. A few shots out from Acor, but none of them landing to great effect. And now Elevator taken. They move into CT and they isolate Acor from the rest of the team. I love this, man. Divide and conquer, as the saying goes. And that has been the essence of this T side from complexity in this round. Now it's them getting divided. It's them having their attention split between too many angles at once here at A. And so they will try and group back up. But Obo swinging on out. 3 kills in this round. Roy is going to spot a man at ramp.
No!
Not able to deal with Playmat the first time around. And he really is just as much of a tank in the server as he is out of the server. He soaks those bullets up, but they finally deal with him. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, 1v3, exactly, Hugo. At what cost? Because this is still going to be match and series point going the way of complexity if this round falls in their favor. Obo and Shush were back-to-back, and not exactly brethren in the approach, but Rush gets the trade. And so now match series point for complexity. 5 kills is all that separates them from getting this one over the line.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is Mad Lions have had 1 round in this entire CT side. After an 8-7 half, it's not like they didn't have the room for rifle rounds. They've had plenty, and complexity have shut them out on every single one. This has been a masterclass from Cole on this map. I want to see more Vertigo from these boys moving forward. And, well, they might just move forward with a 2-0 victory and 2-0 in the group. Just 1 round away from that very factor. Be them and Big at the top side, the tippity top side. And that's going to be a hell of a competitive game, right? Cole, Big. I mean, after both these teams beat Mouse Sports, both these teams beat Mad Lions, by the looks of things, then Big and Cole as the 2-0 group matchup. Exciting stuff. Let's see if Cole can get us there, and how quickly can they do that. Shush with the orb, 1 of 2 in this round. Acor has been really quiet, and we haven't seen a whole lot of AWP action from him. 6 kills in the server, Roy on 7. That's not what you want. Maybe Shush. Maybe this could be the guy to make it happen. That's a big kill. Dropping Obo down at B. It was a man holding the flank. Kohler setting up for an A execute. And Mad Lions have a big setup here. They have 3 players here inside of the site. That molly's going to burn out Roy. He has to be careful. Luckily, he has a crossfire. He has a teammate next to him. Roy goes above, and he knocks down 2. The bomb dropped. Roy with a deagle next to him. It will finish off the 3rd. Blame is alone. Already found the first kill. Another 1-on-5 for Blame, perhaps.
Yeah, another, being a tenuous use of the word, it's another attempt, but let's see if this time he's able to get it over the line. There's an ult back in CT, and that should have him dead to rights, and indeed it does. Flame's not able to walk that one off. So a 9th on the board for Mad Lions. They find that round. The double orbs are maintained, and a reinvestment going to come through from either side. This hold from Roy single-handedly is the thing that leads to success in this round. It even, leads to a man getting lost in the smoke. I think it was Config, just trapped behind the sandbags, and suddenly, the cage that he found Roy in becomes a prison of Config's own making. So a fast play up through the ramp, but Blame F getting stuck there. That's the downside to being so wide, as the do struggle to get through those narrow gaps. Acor trading and Asilian keeping this in the advantage of Mad Lions, but a stellar flick from Poison. And still a chance now. Back into the 3-on-3 we go.
These are just the Lions unleashed right now. They know they're a round away from defeat, and they feel no fear. They feel no worry, no consequence of their actions as they constantly take fights towards A, and maybe that's the undoing. Maybe that's the problem in and of itself. They get a couple of kills, but just like that sort of complexity, pulling it back into a man advantage. A 3-on-2. Shush with the AWP, falling out of middle. Asilian hit still here on the site. Mad Lions, they know it's going to be A. They just don't want to make it clear they're both here to Complexity, who are probably expecting that, but are still watching the backline for potential flanks as well. They want that confirmation. And the fact that Cole have gone silent here means Mad Lions have to consider other options. They have to look at middle. Now the smokes begin to land. Now the T's arrive, and it's very clear where this bomb is going. Mad Lions going to look to try and stop this bomb partner. They can through the smoke, but it is going to go down. Poison gets a full stick, and Mad Lions is just going to walk through the left side of it, try and climb on top of the boxes perhaps. Asilian goes up, and Config walks right below. Asilian's drop. It's all on Shush. He can't do a thing. You'd think. Quick shot through the smoke, but nothing more. It's Complexity with 3 from Poison, and another victory on the board. 2-0 in this series, top of the group alongside Big R Cole. They really, really worked out today, and they look good in the server, Harry. That Vertigo game,
Yeah, man, Blame F just delivering in spades, and the rest of the gang there around him, right? And obviously we moved into that map, and it was a bit of an unknown entity for Mad Lions. We didn't really know what to expect. And truthfully, you know, I think we kind of, right, whenever you see these map picks come in, when it is a map that you've only ever had losses on, one that you don't play a lot, it is a big risk to take, and ultimately it doesn't pan out for Mad Lions here. I hope it's not the end of them trying to play Vertigo. I hope we see them keep revisiting this map and keep bringing the heat. But for Complexity, this was a great look today, especially with Mirage feeling so close, so down to the wire. They move into Vertigo and they come in swinging. I love that series. I love both the series that we got to see today, Hugo. It's been stellar. That's all from Hugo and I, but the analyst desk is still here, and there's still a whole best of 3 yet to come, so don't you go anywhere.
Well, would you believe that? A group of Danes lost to a North American organization today, featuring only 2 players from America in Obo and Rush, but they get it done at the end of the day, and that's just about all that matters. Complexity beating up on the Mad Lions here in 2 maps, 16-14 in the first, 16-9 in the second. And of course, we're going to be talking about this unit a little bit more as we bring in our analyst. Of course, we're going to be doing a segment, an analyst desk without them. It's going to be Pimp and it's going to be Potter. And they have some choice words that they would like to A, say about themselves and their picks, their predictions, and B, I didn't really think past that. So what do you guys got?
I mean, man, Complexity, they really just showed up and showed us a clinic of how to play that CT or T side of Vertigo. I mean, Mad Lions is the same storyline, having a competitive first map, showing up on their T side, and then on their CT side, just completely falling flat. But I don't want to take anything away from the Complexity side. I mean, Obo, Poison, not missing a single shot once again. Blame F, 3 kills or 3 deaths almost throughout the entirety of that entire game on Vertigo. I mean, it was a nice showing from Complexity side.
Go ahead, Jacob. Yes, it is not good enough, Jacob, and I think that you are onto something there, something that you can work on your end, rather.
I can definitely work on my end. I can always work on my end. But as I was saying to Ace before, you know, I think Christina's onto something when she's saying that we saw the same picture as we did yesterday. It was not looking good for Mad Lions. They showed up, you know, in glimpses of the game, but overall couldn't go up against Complexity. Blame F with 29 frags and only 6 deaths. Absolutely insanity.
Well, let's look at it this way. I'm looking at Complexity, and, you know, we don't eat a whole lot of fast food where I'm at right now. I know in America they tend to do that. But here, 2 for 2. That's the deal that I want to bring to you. Complexity looking hot to trot. Bring up the groups. Let's take a look at the numbers. And let's just see where Complexity find themselves now. Other than undefeated, they're the head of this group. Did we see that coming?
No.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, we definitely did not see that coming at all. I mean, when you have a Mad Lions, we said it in the pre-show, they just won $500,000, the biggest prize pool outside of Astralis coming out of Denmark. And this was less than a month ago, a little over a month ago at Mouse Sports with the end of 2019 that they had coming into Group B. No, there's no way any of us could have said Complexity and Big would be 2-0 in this group.
Yeah, simple as it's being said, right? Mouse Sports is definitely the biggest disappointment so far. Mad Lions, yeah, they won that tournament, and yeah, they've been consistently performing at a relatively high level, but we're looking at Mouse Sports right now, a team that a few months ago were considered to be one of the very best teams in the world. They are looking to go out of the group stage unless they can beat Mad Lions tomorrow.
Yeah, and tomorrow, that's going to be the big test. The idea here is that we get all the groups done pretty fast, all things considered. And I'd say that Group A shaped up in an okay, yet not super surprising kind of way. I guess Astralis would have been that favorite. But then again, G2, I don't know. They always have some sort of weird card up their sleeves. Now, for this group, though, when we looked at this one on a surface level, you immediately take Mouse Sports. You immediately say that's the one that's going to, come barging through. It's not going to be a big problem. But that's just not even the case either. In fact, they're close to getting kicked out. So really and truly, have we lost our minds? Is this a simulation, or who wrote the script, Christine?
I have no idea, but I am glad to see, because it's not like this is a complete upset, right? Complexity, we can't once again take anything away from this victory. They showed us discipline, they showed us game preparedness, and they showed us a lot of tactical genius that completely pulled them out. I mean, they even had a 5-man complete mid control on Vertigo where they ended up towards that A bomb site. These kinds of curveballs, there's no way Lions were prepared for it. We spoke about Vertigo not being their strongest map. I'm not sure why they're trying to make it their homestay map, but Complexity, they were just out prepared Lions in every aspect.
Christine, I've got to take this call. If you'll just give me 1 second. We're going to go ahead and answer the phone here real quick. It looks like we have a Rush on the line, a man that has been away from home for at least, if not a minimum, of 70 days. It's been some time, Rush. Will, how are you feeling? How are you holding up over there, buddy?
Much better now, obviously. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. Good stuff in the server. 2-0 for Complexity. You get a great start here in the group. Talk to me about some of the things you guys are doing behind the scenes.
Just a lot of anti-strat, but at the same time, knowing when to play your own game and not focusing solely on the anti-strat. So like BlameF and Kita and our analyst Anton are always staying up late and doing extra work to make sure we're prepared in all the maps that we're about to play, and making sure they can predict the veto right, and then go from there, really.
How's the feeling in the camp right now? You guys are looking pretty hot so far in this tournament, and it's been a rocky start to the year for you guys. You seem to be playing pretty well right now. What's causing this?
I'd say we didn't have a rocky start to the year, but I'd say this year in general, it definitely hasn't been the best for us. But even in EPL, we were 1 win away from making the playoffs. We lost because of internet issues. And then in Rio, we had a 1-5 record, but at the same time, like a lot of the games we played were really close. We look at it like Fnatic was like 16-14 twice. Strauss was pretty close. The only time we got really bopped was versus like Vitality, really. But yeah, a lot of winnable games that we lost, and I think that we just need more experience together, and I think we're getting it, playing in EU nonstop, like 8 to 10 hour days, 6 days a week. So yeah, we're practicing hard, and I think that we need just more experience as a team to get through those close games and to close out games, really.
It seems like Complexity right now, you guys have all the tools necessary to be able to be a top contender. I mean, and I love the fact that Config and Obo, these two seem to want to fight no matter what, all across the map. How do you decide as a squad where you want the duels at what choke points? Because Obo is always ready.
I mean, we're pretty structured. We definitely have set roles, but at the same time, you got a Config on your team and an Owen Schlatter on your team, kind of let them loose sometimes. So we have a system in place, but sometimes Christian or Config might go out of the system a bit, which is okay.
Yeah, especially when he's running around hitting every single shot he seems to find, right? The guy is a little bit of a mad cannon, if you will. I wouldn't say a loose cannon, but a mad cannon. He's pretty wild with it. Well, let me ask you this, man. As one American that finds himself in a similar situation as you, how have you gone about, I guess, being away from home for so long? You're used to traveling. You're used to going to events, but now you find yourself pretty much situated away from home. How's that affecting you, I guess, on a personal but a professional level?
Honestly, not that much. I think the weirdest part is normally when you're like competing, you travel a lot, and it's been like almost 3 months now of no traveling. I think like that's probably the longest I haven't traveled in like my whole career, like staying in one place. So it feels weird. But at the same time, even when I'm at Dallas, I'm not really at home. Like it is home, but we also travel a lot when we're there. And my home is actually like back in Wisconsin actually, and I'm pretty much only there on holidays. So I'd say it's no different. I'm actually happy to be here and be able to grind versus the best teams in the world, and to just improve at a really fast rate than we would have otherwise in North America, because North American scene is kind of falling apart right now, honestly. A lot of the tier 2 and tier 3 pros are switching to Valorant, which is kind of unfortunate. So I think that we kind of lucked out that we're here, honestly.
Now, when you say unfortunate, now keep in mind, you are a major champion. You could say whatever the hell you want on this broadcast. You could tell us all to go away, and we would all understand, and we'd have to be okay with that. Speaking of them switching to Valorant, are there any names that are coming up through the system now that are maybe making some waves?
That are switching to Valorant?
No, that are not switching to Valorant, that are filling in the void of the players that are going to Valorant.
Oh, I mean, you look at like teams like C9, I think they're definitely on the come up. Like Floppy is one guy who's definitely playing really well. And I think I'm glad to have Owen on my team, young Schlatter. I think that he's a very rising talent in North America, so I'm glad he's on my side. Besides that, I don't know who really is left in the tier 2, tier 3, like on the come up in North America, because like although like those pros kind of switched, right? So we have like Liquid and EG, and then the Brazilian teams and 100 Thieves, but who else is there? Like who else is left past that, right?
Yeah, the torchbearers, they come few and far between. Listen, man, you say Liquid, it makes me want to ask a whole slew of questions about North America, but we're not quite there. We're not even competing in those realms right now. So I'm just going to let you go. Thank you for your time, Will. Congratulations. You guys have one more matchup in this group. It's versus Big Clan. Are you going to do it?
Yeah, 3-0.
Ooh, easy peasy. Thank you, Will. We'll see you around, buddy.
See ya. Thanks.
Cool. So all in all, I think you guys know exactly what I was talking about when I said when he wins a major, he can have the floor and he kind of runs the room. Is that fair enough, Jacob?
You just never stop saying it, will you? Like that Cloud9 major, I can barely remember it anymore, Trace.
Well, it is pretty unfortunate for you. And actually,
I remember it like it was yesterday, Trace.
Yeah, just like it was yesterday. Boy, Christine, I was standing there in Boston. I was looking down on him. I was like, wow, look at those guys go. And then I took a sip of a cold one and we kept it popping. So moving along swiftly is what we're going to do. We're going to catch up with the side of the Mad Lions, who had a little bit rougher day in the office here, and there's no Dwight Schrute in sight. So I don't really know what was the bane of their existence, but we're going to bring in Zoosh. And now's the time to talk to him. Jacob, pick it up from here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Shush, first and foremost, unlucky with the game today. I think what I want to dive into first and foremost is your Vertigo pick, right? We saw you pick it yesterday. It didn't go that well. That being said, we saw some potential. Today against Complexity, you fell flat on that CT side. Talk me through it.
Well, we felt really comfortable on the pick because we practiced it a lot and it went really well in practice. But yeah, we just need to get some experience in officials and all that. So.
Do you regret you pick Vertigo, or do you think it's a great learning experience for you guys?
I think we learned a lot on which work and which we have to fix and all that. So I don't think we are that disappointed.
Okay. Me and Christine gave you a lot of, let's say, slack, for having played an official game the past month ever since your victory at the Flashpoint. Do you feel the rust setting into you guys, or is it, is it just you guys not really playing well at the moment?
Yeah, I think we have to get used to playing officials again. Like, we're a bit rusty because like we're kind of nervous, but it's still not. But we can feel there's something going on. So we just have to step up individually, and we're not doing that right now. So
I have a question about your CT side, Shush. It seems like you guys, obviously have a very solid defense on majority of the maps that you play, but for the last 2 days on Nuke and carrying over this Vertigo, it seemed really funky. There were moments where each individual on your team, whether it be Bubsky or A-Core, were going for hero plays, peeking when they shouldn't, peeking by themselves, getting picked off. This is not the Mad Lions that we're used to. What do you think went wrong? And did you feel it within the communication in your team that things were going wrong?
I feel like we just have to get started again with officials, but we have a shaky both sides. So if we have a bad T side, it's really hard to get back and get confident on the CT side. And I feel like the last 2 days we haven't really got a good buy rounds ever. So we're getting money fucked every round. So
I have a follow-up question. You said you felt you had bad T sides, but if I look at the matches and the score line, you had actually pretty decent T sides. I believe it was 5 rounds on Nuke T side, and on this Vertigo, you had 7 rounds. What is enough to have you feel comfortable going into the second half on CT side then?
On Nuke, like 5 rounds is enough, but if you don't win the piss round, it's pretty rough to come back in the game. Because if you don't win the first rifle round, you're pretty much fucked the whole game. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's ever disagreed with that ever.
No.
So pretty much GG at that point. Wrap it up, put a bow on it, send it down to wherever you got to send it to. Hey, man, I want to say I appreciate your time. You guys have just one more matchup here within this group itself. You got Mouse Sports, and as we all know, they look a little vulnerable right now. How are you feeling about that matchup?
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty much the same right now, performance-wise. So it's gonna be an interesting match.
So you're expecting a 90-round, three-map series. Is that right?
I don't hope so. I hope we destroy them, but let's see.
All right, we will see. Thank you so much for your time, my friend, and commiserations on your loss today.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. So we move along here. The Mad Lions, they're not done just yet. They get one more chance to, I guess, go at it with Mouse Sports, who have been beaten by everybody else. So you know what? If you're the Mad Lions, you're like, hey, maybe I should do or kind of do the same thing here. Or we can do a stats helix with Potter, which I like that a little bit more. What do you think, Potter?
All right, let's go over this stats helix. Now, this is one round on the T side of Vertigo for Mad Lions that I really appreciated. I love the lurking coming out of Bubsky, but really the conditioning. Bubsky has been bringing and putting a lot of pressure towards Config and mid, and this time around, he goes by his lonesome. The rest of his teammates are going towards this lower B stairs, and they're actually going to be boosting Shush up to try to find a pick. Now, he doesn't win out on this pick, but the main focus here is Bubsky. Man, he gets this fair 1v1, wins out on that duel, but the way he spaces, the way he finds ground, and the way he bobs and weaves past these two defenders to quickly find the timing to just like a light switch in his brain that allows him to find that space. Now, if we can switch over to the point of view of Bubsky to see exactly how this round plays out, how he finds the space, and how he slips past all these defenders. This is just all about timing. It's about game sense, and it's really about having the balls to make plays like this. And I love the fact that Bubsky, he does it, and he does it well.
Yeah, that was the key word I was looking for. Jacob, how did you feel about that? Did you feel about right?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting role that he's being put into right now, Bobsky. I think it's a player within the Danish ranks right now. A lot of people consider him to be a player that North, for example, maybe even Astralis as a 7th or 6th that at some point could be interested in. But having him in a lurker role, I'm not sure you get the most out of him. I think he's better when he's more involved in the game more often. So I'm kind of curious, and I want to look out for this for the future, whether to see that's going to be a tendency for Mad Lions or whether it's just something that's testing out right now.
And you know, Jacob, I would love to get into the more nitty-gritty technicalities of it, but the realities are this. We need to watch a match where one team has to lose. One team is going to lose. I guarantee you one team is going to lose. Between MIBR and Team Liquid. North America is coming up. We're going to be going to a break. We come back. We have the last series of the day, and then it's a skedaddle. We will see you all there with a new change of faces. And yeah, that's about all I got. Bye.